Hi everyone, 23rd of October here for TNT, and my name's Tim Newton. Now we are talking about scam centres again today. Don't switch off, because what we have to report today just does take the story just a step further. Now from time to time over recent weeks, or months for that matter, we have done one story and then another a few weeks later, and people go, oh, that's bad. But when you start putting it all together, you're not just getting a nice simple shape of a pyramid with one person or a company at the top and then a few others underneath, and then it spreads down the pyramid. If we were to make a wall chart of this, it would just be a whole lot of tentacles and arms going all over the place, with no particular epicenter that the authorities or investigative journalists can really point at. Now, we're only starting now to get a bit of a sense of not only the breadth of all this and the depth, but some of the key people involved, as governments from around the world are starting to crack down on this or that. And in the past, what we've seen is when they do crack down on this or that, then they just pack up their office chairs and their computers and they move over here and they start again. Well, I'm not sure if they're ever going to catch their tail, but there was a story a few weeks ago about Starlink. Now, Starlink is a SpaceX product, Elon Musk's company from the US, and some of their Starlink satellites were seen unwittingly on some of these scam centres. So the scam centres who had had their internet cut off from the border areas using Thailand's internet services, they thought, oh, okay, we'll just use Starlink. And they sort of hacked into it. Now, we're not really sure exactly how that happened, but some up to 200 Starlink satellites had been spotted. Well, as we'll see today, the actual number of these Starlink products was way in excess of that. But let's just go back another few days to see what's been happening at these scam centres. Here's a Nation Thailand report from 2 days ago. Myanmar troops raid KK Park scam base, detain over 2,000 workers, and plenty of Starlink satellite dishes spotted there. And the Burmese troops have raided a call centre scam base known as KK Park, located from the Mae Sot district in Thailand's Tak province. And they've arrested 2,198 people, including staff and security guards. As we mentioned, some 2,198 individuals detained, 645 men, 455 women, and 98 security guards, along with 30 Starlink internet devices. 98 security guards, used of course for two things. One to try and avert prying eyes, keep people out, and the other one to keep some of the victims who are doing a lot of these phone calls for these pig butchering scams, romance scams, investment scams, and keep them in and under control. So where are these scam centres? Let's get our bearings. There is Bangkok. We can see north and northeastern Thailand there. And we can move from Bangkok all the way up to the border with Tak and the Burmese border. We've got Myanmar township just across the border. And then just to the north of that, along the Moi River, we've got this KK Park scam centre, which is perfectly located right on the very Thai border. That's the KK Park Scam Centre, a huge complex of buildings. So to that response from SpaceX, there was that AFP story a few weeks ago saying that the Starlink satellite dishes had been spotted on many of the scam centres. Well, now we know a little bit more thanks to SpaceX's response. SpaceX says it has cut Starlink services to Myanmar scam camps. And you can see in the photo just a few of them on the rooftops there. And Elon Musk's SpaceX says it's cut Starlink satellite communication links to more than 2,500 devices, and more than 30 compounds are believed to be operating along the Thai-Burmese border, where people from around the world are trafficked and forced to work on scams, generating tens of billions of dollars annually. And as we reported last week, the country that's losing the most money are citizens from the United States. And Lauren Dreyer, the head of Starlink business operations, said the firm takes action on the rare occasions it identifies violations, and campaigners have long warned that Starlink technology has enabled the mainly Chinese crime syndicates to operate from remote locations along the border. And it reminds us that workers are lured under the guise of legitimate jobs only to be held captive and forced into criminal activity. And survivors recount gruelling conditions, long hours, torture and beatings for failing to meet targets. Many of the victims come from African countries. And Lauren says that in Myanmar, SpaceX proactively identified and disabled over 2,500 Starlink kits in the vicinity of suspected scam centres. And some good news and bad news. The good news, photographs show the satellite dishes on the compound rooftops, and footage supplied to the BBC showed thousands of workers leaving KK Park on foot. But the bad news, at least 30 other scam compounds remain active along the border, employing tens of thousands globally. Many are protected by militia groups loyal to the Burmese military, and it's unclear whether they've also lost access to Starlink services they once relied on. And I think this last sentence in Jonathan Head's report is probably the most disturbing and telling. These centres have become a key component of Myanmar's wartime economy as the junta battles various rebel groups while relying on Chinese support to maintain its hold on power. So turn off these scam centres, you cut off the supply of funds for the Burmese military. Exactly what that means and what it might mean for the Burmese people, well, nobody knows. Now, as we dive into this rabbit hole, we're going to be taking a hard right-hand turn and go back to the Thai-Cambodia border, where a couple of months ago there were skirmishes and arguments about dotted lines and where the actual border is, and there were people died, there were shots fired, and there were trolls on both sides firing at each other, and the Cambodian newspapers and the media and the leadership were basically saying, oh, Thailand's at fault, they shouldn't be encroaching on our border areas. Now, my contention all the way along has been that this is just diversion. That's really not the dispute, because if it is, it's been a dispute that's been there for hundreds of years. The real problem is these scam centres that are not only prolific in Myanmar along the Thai border, but increasingly in Cambodia. And Thailand started to take a bit of action on these centres, and also were proposing even 6 months ago, to open some casinos in Thailand. Now, a lot of the casinos in Cambodia are just fronts for scam centres, and Cambodia doesn't really want any competition or any particular spotlight on the operations of these particular centres. Now, very powerful people in Cambodia, including senior politicians, have already scored one head in this particular battle, and that's PHANG Shinawatra, who was Prime Minister but has been dismissed from that particular post, all over a leaked telephone call between PHANG and the Cambodian Senate leader and long-term strongman Hun Sen. Now, that led to her dismissal from the position of Prime Minister. And today, she's also stood down from her leadership position as leader of the PHANG party. This reported by Berrima.com, been reported widely. PHANG steps down as PHANG leader to allow party restructuring. And the former Thai Prime Minister PHANG Shinawatra resigned as leader of the PHANG party yesterday to pave the way for party reforms, etc. She said her decision to step down was in line with her earlier announcement, October the 7th, to move forward with a new vision and bring about genuine changes for the people. Now, if you're thinking that there's probably something a bit deeper going on between the Hun family in Cambodia and the Shinawatra family in Thailand, you'd very probably be right. At the moment, the Hun family are winning. And PHANG also said yesterday, as one of the country's main political parties, PHANG party must undergo a major transformation, overhauling its structure, processes and mindset to secure victory in the next election and in turn revitalise and rebuild the nation. Dad's back in jail, the former Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra, with a very little chance of getting out anytime soon. His daughter is now out of the Prime Ministership. No other Shinawatra seem to be wanting to front up to take the job. BangkokPost.com reporting that new PHANG leader won't be a Shinawatra. And the story says that the new leader of the PHANG party will be a party member but will not be related to the Shinawatra family. And this is according to the party election director, Surya, who's a career politician and was serving as Transport Minister during the Seta Tawisin Prime Ministership. He's also the uncle of Thanatorn, who was the leader of the Future Forward Party and about that far away from becoming Prime Minister a few years ago. But as of today, there's more heads rolling in the Thai government. This reported by StraitsTimes.com from Singapore. Thai Deputy Finance Minister quits over scam centre allegations. It says that one of Thailand's most high-profile politicians, allegedly linked to transnational scam operations, has said he will step down. And Mr Vorapak Tanyawong, the country's Deputy Finance Minister, has denied allegations that he and his wife are linked to Southeast Asian scam networks. And his resignation came a day after the Thai Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul asked him for a written response to allegations that he's linked to scam networks in the region. And the former Krung Thai Bank executive said that his focus on policy work has been disrupted by the need to respond to these allegations. Now, there are other Thai ministers that have been named by opposition MPs and are currently under some sort of investigation. They're also very litigious, so I'm a little bit shy about talking about their particular stories at the moment, but a bit more on this one. The Bangkok Post reporting scandal draws too close for comfort. And Tom Wright, an investigative journalist, on Tuesday published an article detailing how Mr Vorapak's wife held shares in the same Singapore-based fund as the fixer Benjamin Mauerberger's wife. Now, the South African-born fixer Mr Ben Mauerberger has got a whole story all by himself. Tom Wright, the investigative journalist, he was the one, along with a few other investigative journalists, that eventually were able to decipher all the people, or mostly the one person, behind the 1MDB scandal that sort of hit Malaysia about 10 years ago, with one Prime Minister currently in jail and plenty of other Malaysian politicians involved in the scheme that siphoned off billions of dollars from a fund that was set up to fund infrastructure projects in Malaysia. Suffice to say, those infrastructure projects never went ahead. But speaking about Mr Vorapak further down there, Wright also wrote that to more easily move illicit cash, this network secretly took over a Thai finance company and then offloaded it to a crypto company, Qcoin, all with Vorapak's help. This is the allegation. And yet, says Mr Wright, he was made Deputy Finance Minister last week. But just in the last 24 hours, this. And reported in Nation Thailand on their Facebook page, Thailand's anti-money laundering office has frozen 70 million baht of Cambodian Senator Lai Yong Pat's assets as police and banks intensify efforts to crack down on scam networks. And he's described as a Cambodian senator and influential businessman of Chinese Thai descent, amid investigations into a major cross-border call centre scam network. And he also holds Thai citizenship and he's been linked to the Smash Resort Casino in Cambodia. And surprise, surprise, suspected of housing operations connected to scam syndicates targeting Thai and international victims. Yep, that's him in the red circle there. And where is this Smash Resort and Casino? Well, we can see Bangkok and we can see the Thai-Cambodia border. And there it is, right on the border. You couldn't be closer. Perhaps taking advantage of some Thai internet services and maybe even power supplies. This is just the last couple of days. We are literally standing on a huge iceberg, and not only on the top part of the iceberg, but we're standing on our tippy toes on the top of that iceberg. There is so much more to come out, and it will over the next weeks and months. Now, as international governments who have got their citizens being affected, international organisations that have got their equipment and services being unwittingly used by these scam centres, the more pressure that they can put on, the more that they can get scissors out and start to cut some of the tentacles, the better chance we have of breaking down these scam networks. It's going to be a very long and slow process. because whilst there's a lot of very clever people trying to figure out and understand and dig deep to find out who's running these scam centres, there's very well-funded people who are making it particularly difficult to trace their tracks. So that's just today. Hopefully, if you're still with us, you found it interesting. I'd like to thank Beach House Thailand. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please give us a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll take a big deep breath, and we'll see you next time.